Hey everybody, welcome to this edition of eChannelNews. Today we've got two people from Otava. They're going to be talking about what the company does and how it fits into the MSP space today. We've got Tim, he's the VP of Sales, and Laurel, she's the VP of Marketing. How are you guys?
Doing well.
Doing great.
Tim, I'm going to start off with you. I know you just joined the company recently. Give me an overview of the company itself, and I'll ask you the first big question. Why did you join Otava?
Okay, well, let me take the first question first. So Otava is a US-based but globally deployed cloud colocation and managed services provider. And why I joined, I have about 20 years in this space, going all the way back to pre-IPO with Savvis through SunGard and a couple other managed services providers. So what Otava is doing is very close to my DNA. We really sort of specialize on high touch, high customer centric engagement, and there's a lot of really smart and really fun people, and it was a fantastic opportunity. So this is my second month.
All right. Well, I thought you were going to say it was Laura's fantastic marketing that drew your attention to the company.
That goes without saying. Absolutely.
Okay. So Laurel, you're the VP of Marketing there, Product and Marketing. So maybe tell me a bit about the company. From your perspective, what is the mission of Otava?
Sure. Yes, I run product and marketing, and Tim gave you a perfect entree into what we do. And a little bit about how we're positioned in the marketplace is that we really try to position ourselves as that secure and compliant cloud provider. If you look at the types of clients that we have in our portfolio, they really are those that are compliance sensitive, that have a heightened need for compliancy and security services. So strong verticals for us include things like healthcare, finance, and we have a large partner side of it, and their clients are healthcare, finance, and other areas too that have compliance sensitivities. So a little bit of background on us from that perspective.
Who came up with the name Otava, and what does it mean?
So thank you for asking. The marketer in me is thrilled to have that. Otava has two meanings. In Finnish, it is the Big Dipper, and from a musical terminology, it is the act of taking a note up an octave. And so we saw parallels there, because everything we want to do with our client experience and with our product portfolio is to elevate expectations, to raise the bar, to go that next standard higher. And so even in our logo, it could appear as a note on the top of an octave. It could also appear as, pointing towards that North Star. So everything we want to do is really to provide that exceptional experience, that exceptional portfolio, especially for these clients that are really, like I said, in this sensitive nature, where they really just do need another level, another standard higher.
That's a deep name.
We better. We have mission critical on our hands. So right. Yes, absolutely, and we're thrilled about it.
So Tim, so here you are. You're leading the company in the sales area, building out, I'm assuming, a channel ecosystem, a partner ecosystem. There's a lot of players in the cloud space, a lot of players in the colo and in compliance space, even, right? Could you? Yep. Give an overview of why your company is different and why it matters to the MSP community?
Yeah, sure. So I would say first of all that we're not new to the channel space. Fully 1/3 of our customers kind of fall into the white label or partner-led engagements, and really the strategy around the message that we're taking in the market in terms of like the differentiators is we're very, very high touch, very high engagement with our channel partners, right? So that means lots of marketing resources, lots of marketing funds, lots of on-site engagement, as opposed to a kind of just a portal and download materials and then you're kind of off and running. We're there with our partners. The model that has worked for us over time is kind of an arm in arm, right? So we're comfortable with partner-led engagements or white label type situations where we're in the background, but we feel like where we're most successful is with our partners engaging with their end customers to help them qualify, to help them build the value for the solutions.
I'm sorry, I would add one more item to what Tim is saying is that, our entire product portfolio really does have a partner-centric element to it. Our products are meant to be either self-managed or fully managed. And for a service provider community, oftentimes they want a self-managed solution because of course they have their own clients. So our products are built for that multi-tenancy in mind and for our clients to have that first tier line of support if they want it and to administer on behalf of their clients. So we've really built a portfolio that assists and really helps those service providers stay front and center in mind.
So it's really prime for MSPs. So looking at the compliance issue, I mean, everybody talks about this stuff from GDPR and it just goes on, right? And not every company is really, how can I say, as compliant as they should be.
Right.
But some companies need to be compliant, right? What is your take on how compliance is playing into the space right now in the companies who need to be, and also why the other companies who are not quite there should be thinking about this?
Well, I think actually compliance, with the advent of GDPR and some look-alike legislation that's coming through in the U.S. And other countries, is really honestly going to be table stakes for all industries, right? So healthcare and FinServ was kind of leading the way just because of the sensitivity of that information, and frankly, the value in the black market, right, to the people that want to steal that, but with that governance and compliance obligation, like pushing into sort of lower tiers of the market, it used to be that only the largest companies, the Fortune 500, thought about governance and compliance. And I'm going back, 20 years, and now, we're dealing with companies that have, 15 or 15 to 50 employees. That have a similar obligation to big Wall Street companies, right? But they don't have the budgets to go out and hire lawyers and consultants to make sure that what they're doing is, going to be, beholden to all the different compliance standards. So that's where a company like Otava comes in, right? Because as I said, we have a high-touch engagement model in the pre-sales process. So we're helping companies think through their obligations as part of the solution design, from the very beginning. And that's actually, it's part of our DNA. It's I would call it one of the big value adds of our service engagement is that it's almost like free consulting is part of that process.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only thing I would add is that different people have different definitions of compliant. And one of the things that we educate our audiences on is that, for compliance, you want to look beyond just physical compliance at the data center level. And something that we do very well is the fact that it's not just the data centers that are compliant in our atmosphere, but it's also all of our solutions in our portfolio. And that's peace of mind for our clientele, whether you're the service provider community or an end client. And it's important to look under those covers and make sure that they're equal. And so that's why we invest so much time and education on this aspect to make sure everybody has a leg to stand on and can be successful.
So if I've put myself in the shoes of an MSP, right? And so I'm working with you to partner with you. What are some of the things you would do together with me to help make the case to my customers about why your solution matters to them?
Well, obviously, the biggest differentiator we have out there is, we really do feel like we're the market's secure and compliant cloud. It's an arena that we know well. We were the first provider to become HIPAA compliant back in the day. This is something that's in our DNA, and we can help it be in our service provider community DNA. You will see in our tagline for Otava, it's expect exceptional. And so that's not just a marketing fluff. Hey, I'm a marketer, but that's not marketing fluff. That is done from countless surveys when the company was forming on, what the difference was here. And that difference really is that hand holding, the partnering, and the deep relationships we're forming, especially in the partner community. I mean, we serve as an extension of their sales teams. We serve as an extension of their portfolio, and we take that very seriously to help them go to market with all of the training, aids, sales enablement, et cetera. And I think the other piece that's pretty strong for us is we have a robust product portfolio and the tools behind it to enable our partners to be successful, right? So you need a portal with full visibility to the metrics you need. You need the right reports in front of you. You need the right ability to have metering and full measurement on a full consumption model so that you can in turn provide that to your end clients. And those are areas that we do great. And it's why we've seen such success in the market.
So of course, so MSPs, so I get it. So they'll be able to offer the solution. Your solution actually takes over a lot of compliance issues to make it work. What are some of the skill sets that the MSPs would need to be a partner of yours?
The folks that are best in selling something like cloud solutions and the managed services on top of it are probably service providers that are already experienced in selling managed services. So they already have monthly recurring revenue type products in their portfolio. So they're used to that kind of stream. They have that level of knowledge to be able to sell some of these complex deals. In other words, it wouldn't be their first time. If it is their first time, we have all the enablement they need, but the ones that are most successful that can jump right off the dock and hit the ground running are ones that already have that recurring revenue model, and already have some level of comfort in that managed service arena. We find they hit the ground running and do very well.
Which right now is, by the way, the vast majority of the entire channel.
It is, and it's funny, it's changed overnight, hasn't it? And so then it's really a matter of what can you complement in your existing portfolio, right? Because at the end of the day, you're looking for that complete solution portfolio, and we don't want to go to 20 vendors. We want to go to a few and have them as our trusted partners. So it's finding that right complement to your portfolio. And with our portfolio being as robust as it is, we can add a lot of value across disaster recovery, across security, across all of your data protection needs and backup, and cloud from a hybrid and multi-cloud version. So that's the kind of partner that you want when you're trying to go to market, especially in a time like this. And that's where we find those partnerships. Tim, what would you add to that? Anything?
Yeah, no, I would just add on to what you were saying about MSPs that sell consultatively versus point solutions. Companies that are used to engaging with customers to kind of find out what their critical business issues are, and then bring a whole suite of options to the table that meet their technology requirements and their financial, right? So a lot of companies these days are struggling with their multi-cloud strategy, for example, right? That everybody has discovered after you get a few large overage or usage bills from AWS that it's not a one-size-fits-all solution, right? There's certain parts of your technology landscape that may actually belong in a co-location cabinet somewhere because you have no intention of bringing that into bringing those applications forward into kind of a cloud friendly. There may be some DevOps or seasonal usage workloads that fit best over in the public cloud, right? But there's really kind of a continuum between all three of those solutions. And the MSPs that are really helping companies kind of, on that journey and to understand what fits best where, those are the ones that we work best with because that's our style as well.
You're describing the smart MSPs. Very good. So I mean, pre the coronavirus thing that we're all living in, it was, cloud is great. We should do it. It's going to scale. It's going to be, that type of thing. And now it's almost like, well, is there another choice, right? Because no one wants a repeat of this at all. And while we're struggling with the pain of this as we speak, most businesses are looking forward to, post, Corona to see what happens in the future. So what do you think I'm assuming that everyone now understands that the value of cloud, that what cloud brings to the table. Has this pandemic affected your service performance at all?
So from an operational perspective, we've been rock solid. Obviously there's a concern when you operate data centers, having folks that are coming into a public place and how to manage that. And we've had a number of posts on our blog about dealing with that as a service provider. But I would say in general, it's knock on wood has
Mhm.
been business as usual. I think like other cloud service providers, we've really seen an uptick in demand for services, particularly those services which complement or enable work from home, right? So
Mhm.
I was reading the other day that Microsoft had said that they had saw a 775% spike in usage for geographies that were under lockdown, which is everywhere. Um, and so yeah, we're experiencing something similar, right? But we have architected all of our data centers around uptime anyway, right? Because it's all about secure and compliant. So uptime is a critical part of that, and so things have been running very well for us. I don't, Laurel.
Yeah, completely agree. We are seeing an uptick in certain product families more than other, the same ones you would assume, right? Around security, around backups and fortifying them, all of those elements. And the beauty is we are a provider that has a worldwide presence. So we have centers all around the world, and we have that resiliency, we have that redundancy and distribution that we're able to cover across that globe. And we're rock solid, we're ready to go. And we even have some promotional special assistance funds that are going on right now in terms of any clients that are caught in a pickle right now and do need additional cloud assistance, do need additional disaster recovery assistance, do need additional backup services. We even have free consultation services around, kind of re-architecting around your repositioning to a remote workforce and the security side of that. So you can do that assessment. We're trying our best to be proactive and assist our clients because that's part of our DNA, but obviously that would extend out to others as well.
Yeah, I mean, right now we're in the mode of helping rather than selling, right? So it's
Yeah.
awesome that you're doing that as well. So yeah, I mean, it's really proven the case that these types of solutions, like what you're offering, is becoming more and more vital in the future as we bridge this gap between where we are right now and not wanting to repeat this crazy time we're in. So looking at maybe just a few points you could mention before we wrap up here about your channel program, maybe one or two things that you think that channel partners, MSP is going to love about working with you beyond the great support that you're offering.
Well, we have three basic programs, and while the majority of our partners come in as white labelers, meaning they're using their brand, even though it's our cloud, they're using their brand and they're taking first call. We have a white label. We also have a reseller model. We also have a referral model. So you name it, the way you want to engage with us, you can. And as I mentioned before, we have kind of purpose built our product portfolio so that service providers have a self-managed version so that they can, again, be that tier one support and be independent and autonomous from a pricing, from a branding, and from a ownership on the first level support. Obviously, we are going to do our best to be high touch, and that's not just on the operational side, but it's absolutely on the sales and marketing support as well. We're not successful unless our providers are successful, and therefore we have to be an extension of our service providers teams from a sales perspective and even from marketing and marketing campaign side of the house. So those are key areas that I think we need to remind folks that we've got and really do make us special, let alone the fact that when you're on an Otava optimized cloud, you're in a great position from an operational standpoint.
Yeah, just a couple things. So the way that we think about our partner and residual, our channel program in general, is we meet you more than halfway. And what we mean by that is we're very friendly on the referral agreements, the residual agreements. They're evergreen. we guarantee zero conflict, right? So if there's ever a situation on registrations, rather than taking down someone's residual or declining a registration, we will gravitate towards keeping everybody whole on the deal, right? So we know that that's very, very critical in the channel world, that the resellers want to feel like that we're working with them and for them, and not in our own interest. So
Makes sense. Well, I'll let you have, either of you, both of you have the last word. What is the message that you want all the MSP community out there to know about Otava?
Hey, we're out here. We are an exciting company that you may not know yet, but you should. And the reason you may not know us is that we're growing through acquisition, and we are growing quickly through that way. And we are consolidating what seems to be a somewhat fractured environment around, there's a lot of smaller cloud service providers. So we are coming in, consolidating and aggregating, and we're putting people and process and tools first to build just a world-class, worldwide cloud solution provider. If you don't know us yet, you ought to reach out. We want to get to know you, and we're going to make you profitable.
My add-on to that would be that even though I think we're coming up just on 1 year for our rebranding, we were online tech prior to that, and we actually have a history that spans back more than 20 years, right? So we're kind of an established, mature company that is acting like a startup with startup energy. As Laurel mentioned, our tagline is expect exceptional. And we strive for that in every interaction that we have with our channel partners, with our customers, and prospects as well. So, we think that it's the service and the people that we provide that really differentiate us.
Sounds great to me. So the website address for everybody who would like to learn more is?
www.otava.com, O-T-A-V-A.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much. Stay safe, and we'll keep in touch and see all the new developments that's coming through from your company. All the best.
All right. Thanks, Julian.
Cheers.
Thanks.
Have a good one.
Bye-bye.